all messages. All right. Well, we cleared up the table on this side. I just had kind of some ongoing projects here. Get a vacuum. And we're about to fill it up. Folks, I got a show for you today. This can't wait till tomorrow morning. And I don't want to do a video that I have to edit because people don't watch them. And I want people to see this because it's pretty cool. And it'll kind of give you guys a taste of what I'm going to be working on in the near future. But if I make a regular video, I've got to edit it. I got to do all this stuff, and then just people don't watch it for whatever reason. Their attention span issue. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't get the correct number of watches. Ooh, we still got a sticky part here. I don't know why. A clean desk is a happy desk. Anyhow, this is... There's hardly anything on here. That's going to change real soon. And so what I did is this weekend, I just got back. And there's still lots of weekend left, which is awesome. But we're going to need this here in a moment. Okay. So I went to our regular war game show that happens in the spring called Recon in Tampa and in Orlando. And I was only planning on going there for one day, and I did do that because yesterday I went to Recon, and today there was a model show in Tampa, which is across the state, about an hour away or something like that, an hour and 15 minutes. And I figured I could hit them both. I could do the show today, see the Wargaming friends, play yesterday, see the Wargaming friends, check out the flea market if there's anything there, play a couple games, spend the night, go all the way across the state, go to Pelican, that's what it's called. It's an IPMS show called Pelican. And for model building and stuff like that. And what do you call it? Awards and stuff like that. Tournament. Is it a tournament? I don't know. Whatever, you can enter stuff and you can win prize. What's up, Brad? Paulinka Gren... Oh, hold on a second. I'll take the challenge here. Paulinka Grensnerova. Welcome. So hobby show, war game show yesterday, and then today the model show, which is still going on. I think it runs till like 7. Want to check out the vendors and stuff there. Basically people that sell things that they can't move. And then I also hit Spray Gunner, that's also in Tampa. So we went to 3 places this weekend, and I had a ton of shit to show you guys. And like normally I would do unboxings in 3 different videos, but people don't watch them, and it's a lot of work for me. So if it's more work for me and people don't watch them, that doesn't make any sense. So, all right. So in the order as they happened, in the order that I recall them happening, I go to the show at Recon. I want to call it Hurricane, but that's the one in September. It's the same show. I go to and I'm going to stack things up here as we go, and I'm gonna give you a little teaser. I don't have enough space. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna have enough space, but anyway, so I get to a Recon, and there's a guy selling. He's got a plastic bin. Where is it? I just had it here a second ago. Gee whiz. That said $2 on it. I even kept it. $2 in this bin. And I saw what was in the bin. And I'm like, yeah, I'm taking all of it. So what did I take? And I think I got this correct. There's a couple things I may have. He had 15 things in there. So, and most of these are things I've never put together. So some of you guys that are older than me, you're probably going to be like, I put that thing together in 1978. I never put it together. Hasegawa Daimler Mark II. All this is going to be 1/72, 1/76 scale. Sorry to disappoint you, but you could have figured that out. Okay? Unopened. Hasegawa. Okay? $2. M4A1 half track from Hasegawa. I haven't even opened these things. I actually, this is one of these things I didn't need. Okay? I have one of them painted for snow. It's nearly complete. I've got two others that are die cast, and one of them complete. So I got like four. This is like the fifth one. Like, I don't need it, but I'll probably build it. Then we've got a bunch of Airfix stuff. The Bren gun carrier and 6-pounder anti-tank gun. Two M4 Sherman Mark 1s, which I believe they're actually M4A2s. I'll have to look that up to make sure what they are. And actually, I'm gonna open one of them up. These are all taped up like this. Like, I didn't have time to look at them. If they're not complete, well, I only paid $2 for them. Hobby Lobby. This is one of. They actually had these at Hobby Lobby at one point. They were selling them for $8. That's a lit plastic bag with lots of breathing space in there. Plastic tracks. They're 1/76 scale. I think they're M4A2s. Some of my Shermans some of my Shermans are 1/76 and some of them are 1/72, so they should be able to work fine. Don't know if they have decals. I hope they have decals. Sherman Mark 1. So, if it is an M4A2, then these are going to be British for Italy, more than likely. They smell like aged. I've never built these. So, and normally I would not build them all at once. I would, because I might find a shortcut or something wrong, and the next thing I know, it's going to cause me more work than it's worth. So, a couple M4A1s from Airfix, $2 a piece. And a Bren gun carrier with a 6-pounder, which I don't have a 6-pounder. I got lots of Shermans. I got too many Shermans. So, what else was there? What else was in that $2 bin? An Attack. I believe this was it. Only because I got some from a flea market, and I don't know if this was one of them, but I believe this was a $2 kit from Attack. A Czech 38. Talk about something I don't need. I have so many of these. I had 3. I have a Rapham one, that's 4, that's not complete. I have a Command one that isn't complete, that's 5. And I've got the 5 that were sent to me by Jose, gave me in Spain. So, I don't know. Now we got one more. Separate link track, no problem. What else do we got? We got 234.85 because I need another one of these, like a hole in the head. I've got 9 of them complete. One of I converted as a flamethrower. And I opened this thing up. And there's 2 of them in here. So, now the cool thing is, these are 1/76. And the good thing is because all my other ones are 1/76. So it actually makes sense. You know, you don't have one that's bigger. I still would have used that anyways. Got some decals. I don't know if they'll explode. But only one set of tracks. So we'll have to do one dug in or something. Anyways, I thought I was only getting 1 and I got 2. So I ain't gonna complain. Okay? Fujimi. I always liked the Fujimi artwork. When I was a kid, I always thought Fujimi had some of the best artwork out there. So, this has a crooked spider on it, so we're going to cover it. But this is the Schwimmwagen Kettenkrad. I don't know if it came from this guy or from the other one, but we're going to show you that. Because one of these actually has something really cool in it. Now, this just has a Shrimboggin in it. This is not the one I'm thinking of. It's a different one. Shrimboggin with a crew from Hasegawa. I've never built a Shrimboggin. Kettenkrad, never built a Kettenkrad. You know, the instructions is one of the least important things, so you can go on ScaleMates and get them all now. Welcome, Mim. Again, $2. You know, the whole thing was $2. I'm like, I'll just take it all. Not like, you know, like I want this one, I don't want that one, I want this one, I want, you know. Like, some things are worth more than $2 to me, and some might not be, you know, it'll end up being a wash. 25-pounder field gun, like I need another one of these. I got the plastic plastic soldier company set of 2, and now we have an Airfix one. It also comes with a quad tractor. You know, with gun crews, and this one's going to be 176. It's a little smaller. It'll be fine. Probably do this one for Italy, something like that. Does it come with a quad tractor? Man, the quad tractor is in lots of pieces. I feel like if this is 176, the Plastic Soldier Company one's probably like 170. It's pretty darn big. But the War Games models, folks, it'll be all right. I don't care that it's an old model, man. We're going to make these old things shine. You've seen any of my work, you know it will. You know they will. Okay? That's $2, and I was just doing the math. This is probably going to take me about 16 hours worth of enjoyment for $2. You know, by the time I build it, which they actually take a while to build, and then paint them, you know, do all the weathering and stuff on them, and stick. Because we don't have enough Shermans, there's one more, a third one. So, we have 3 of those. I'm not going to be able to keep stacking things on here because it's going to get out of hand. It's going to get out of hand. But each one of these was $2 a piece, like that kind of counts. And then something I've actually thought about getting, and I never did. I'm glad I didn't because this was only $2. The Matador. The Matador British truck with a 5.5-inch gun. The 5.5-inch gun isn't super useful. It's a siege type gun unless you're doing some scenario where they're like raiding this thing in the middle of the night or something like that. But we got a big Brit truck, which I don't have any of. So, you know. I know lots of you have built, I built that thing when I was a kid. Never did. I didn't have anything against it. They don't have a gun crew. That's fine. Decals, don't know if they're any good. Doesn't matter. Mine will not have a white star on it. Warning, my British vehicles don't have white stars on them. It's stupid looking. Roundels, absolutely. White star, nope. It confuses onlookers. Like, hey, is that an American vehicle? No, it's British. Why does it have a white star? Exactly. See what I mean? And we're going to attempt not to do these one at a time. Otherwise, it's really going to get out of hand. And towards the end of this video, you'll know why it's going to get out of hand. Because this is just crazy. But I'm like, I'm not going to leave these things. You know, you guys are going to see them built. You know, it's stuff I've never built before. You know, it's not what I wasn't thirsting for this stuff, but I'm like, that's the right price. This is the price to move them. Had another one. So now we got 2 Matadors, 2 5.5-inch guns. Okay? From Airfix. He had 15 kits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 more. See, I don't know if I've got the exact correct ones, but here's a Shrimboggin from Fujimi. And I opened this up and there's other stuff in here. Actually, I think this was one of Don's things. Now that I think about it. That wasn't one of them. I'm not going to steal it from him. We'll put that in the Don pile. It's coming. Maybe it was this diorama set. Yeah. So this is a diorama set. This is what was inside of it. Looks like this would have a Shrimboggin and a Pack 40 in it, right? At least that's what's shown on here. But now I look at it, there's a truck here. It's a Krupp Protz. I don't have a Krupp Protz. How exciting. That's gonna be towards the top of the things to do. I'm just warning you. I don't have a Krupp Protz. So, and what else is in here? Oh, we got some stuff to sniff. I don't know what these brass rods are. Hopefully it's not for axles. That's all right. We're one. We can become one with the epoxy. We'll straighten all that out. Anyways, this is who's this by? Ari. Ari also has beautiful artwork. Despite these being little Nazi bastards, they have good artwork. And I think this is the right one. Easy 8 Sherman from Hasegawa. And I know it's like 1/70th scale. It's a little on the large size, but it was like freaking $2. You know, I don't have an Easy 8. You know, this is the Fury Sherman for those of you guys that learn your history from movies. And I hope it's complete. If not, I don't see a barrel in here. Oh well. If it doesn't have a barrel, then I won't be able to build it. Hey, you win some, you lose some. Yeah, I don't think it's got a barrel. And I'm not going to buy a $10 barrel for a $2 model. Sorry. We'll build it knocked out or something. All that means is this gets moved farther down the queue. Okay? All right, I think that's all I got. 14. There must have been one more. It must have been like this or something. No, I think that was from Don's. I think it was this one. I think it was the Schwimmwagen. Now, inside the Schwimmwagen, I opened it up, and we got decals from it. You got instructions for a Panzer III, and I guess there's some Panzer III parts. No, this was Don's. Anyways, we got the top to a Kubelwagen. We've got a motorcycle in there. Schwimmwagen that started being painted. We'll rescue all these things. Another Tony rescue. The separate motorcycle, whatever. He threw all that in there with it. I think this was one of Don's things. All right, so I go to the flea market. My buddy Don Harding had a bunch of 1/72nd scale stuff to sell. He goes, go ahead and make some popcorn. We're going to be here a while. Just so you know, you've been warned. You've been warned. My friend Marty said, hey, I got a couple of those decast tanks. Do you want them? I said, yeah, I'll give you $5 for each one, which is about how much they went for way back when. These are die cast. If you do this scale, and you can still get a hold of these things. This half track, M3 half track, I've painted 3 of them. They paint up great. It's almost exactly 1/72nd scale. It's damn near 1/72nd scale. This Sherman is an M43. It's almost exactly 1/76th scale. So, like, perfect. Like, you know, they don't have hatches that open or anything like that, but just prime them and repaint them, and they look great. Anyways, I got these this was $5 a piece from Marty. And that sounds like a good deal. That's probably the worst deal that I got all weekend. All right. Don Harding had these things that caught my eye. I've been wanting one of these for the longest time. Because I actually have a skirmish scenario that has one of these. And it's an STKFZ 251. So I know, the writing's backwards. There's nothing I can do about it with the phone. I apologize. I'm even seeing it backwards. With the assault bridge. So this is an issue model of the half track. Unfortunately, it's a damn rivet half track. Oh, it looks like you got some things painted. I really need the bridge. The bridge is what I need because I've got one of these half tracks. I just don't have a bridge for it. These decals are probably no good. I'm on a tear painting my own decals, so I'm not worried about it. The assault bridge and what's in here? Oh, there's 2 instructions for assault bridge. Only one in here. Looks like some of the stuff is painted on there. It's going to be another rescue. I'm sure it'll turn out fine. These are tracks. There's no tracks? Well, shit happens. Okay? Is the bridge in here? Yeah, the assault bridge is in here. So, the engineering half track. Said he had his attic. He had this in the attic for a long time. It's not like he went out of his way and said, "Hey, let me screw Tony out of the tracks." No, probably his attic would probably would have dry rotted anyways. All right. He also had this. So these things from Don were like, I think $20. So just give me $20 to take them all. So here's another half track. Hopefully this one has tracks. This one does have tracks. This is the Flammenwerfer half track. Okay, it's got all the flamethrower stuff on there. One set of tracks. SG instructions. Now I'm gonna need to wash my hands good. I'm gonna have to lube up my hands after handling all these dusty things. And this Fujimi M4 Sherman, because we need another Sherman. And this looks to be an M4A3. Well, let's see what this is. It's got the EZ8 suspension. I have one of these that I rescued already. Oh, I got a little Jeep. Woohoo! That's handy. Has it got a fit? Has it got a fitty on the Jeep? Yep, there's a fitty on the Jeep. Excellent. And a Sherman, which hopefully is a 75, not a 105. Yep, looks like a 75 barrel. 176 scale. It's funny because this is an M4A1 hull. Is that what's in here? Life is like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get. So this is probably not the model that goes in here, because this has a. See how this does not have the rounded hull? It has the welded hull. This is the cast hull, which is earlier. Actually, I'd rather have one of these. Hopefully, it'll fit on here just fine. I got lots of the M4A3, so this would be an M4A1. I don't know. All right, so that's really the three things I really wanted. These two things. I really wanted the two half tracks. And he's like, "Yeah, take this shit too." So, I don't know what's in here. This is probably, if anything if any of this is of any value, it's like extra. So, and this is crazy here. All right. So here is another engineering half track. Okay, missing a bridge. No, here it is. With the track. So what I might do is take this track off. Oh, hold on a second. Here's the other side of track. So I got 3 half tracks. I have 3 of these half tracks. 2 assault bridge ones. One of them that I have to fix up because it's did some battle damage to it. And then 1 flamethrower one. There it is. Just when you thought you got shorted, you didn't get shorted. All right, we need to get the glasses that are more zoomed in. This is like right in my face and I can't see. All right, what else do we have here? We have a Kugelwagen that has seen better days. This looks like a piece of shit, but I bet I could make something with it. I really have to make a point out of taking a before and after picture on these. Because I love buying these things that are basically not worth anything to anyone and then bring them back to you and say, "Hey, remember that thing you had that wasn't worth a damn?" "Yeah." "Well, this is what it looked like." "Yeah, I remember that piece of shit." "Well, this is what I did to it." Like, ooh, wow. I don't have one of these, an SDK Z7. Super handy. Super handy. Anyways. Panzer III of some form or another. Ooh, which took a beat down. Panzer III. I don't know who the hell's model this is. I don't know whose model this is. Maybe an SU one. No. Oh, look at the bottom of it. You experts on here? It's probably an Ari or something. I don't know. Maybe Fujimi. I don't know, but I see a knocked out Panzer III in the snow. We got to do some stuff for Vinegar Vitter. So this would be, in a snowdrift or something. Oh, and then we got some I didn't buy it. I didn't buy for this stuff, so this is like extra. Looks like a 1/87 scale Ostwind. Yeah, it's really small, but I'll do something with it. It's an objective for like partisans to blow up or something like that. Got some figures here. I don't know what the hell they go to. They're Germans. These plastic figures actually paint up really well. Some decals that'll probably explode. These are the ones from the STKFZ/16, so it's the flamethrower half track. In a box called German, and it also says Nazi. They verified that all these guys are definitely Nazis. Hey, all my Germans are always Nazis, and all my Soviets are commie bastards. So, this also came in there for the same $20. And we have a Sherman here because we don't have enough. We don't have enough Shermans. Oh, Snapdragon. Look at the dry rot on this. Just fell apart. Well, we'll glue it back together. This is an M4A1. It's got that cast hull. We got to be really delicate. This is definitely a candidate to put on a stand so it doesn't fragment away. Couple of M3 half tracks. I think I need to move where the... No, they sit pretty balanced on there. One there, one there. Oh, they're pre-painted. I don't care. I'll repaint them. Got some decals here. Ooh, got some American decals. They're probably going to explode. And a Stewie. Oh, it's a honey Stewie. Well, this will have to be repainted. You can tell it's a honey by the hatch there. Welcome, Lenschek. Oh, welcome back, man. So, fix this guy up. Send him to the Western Desert. And I don't know what scale this is. This is definitely small. Oh, it's Roco. Yeah, this is an M10 from Roco. Probably won't use this for anything. It's a little small. Who knows? It's got a better interior than some of the 1/72nd scale. Some of those Armor Fast ones are terrible. So again, this was part of the $20 that I really only wanted these half tracks for. I mean, I wasn't going to pay $20 for them, but you know, you wanted to move this stuff. This is still Don stuff here. We're still only at Recon. We haven't even left Orlando yet. Allies men, German men. Oh no. You know how old this thing is? Okay, this thing is so old and somebody still left this bloody sticker on it. And it's made in Israel. I didn't know they made these things in Israel. Wow. Okay, here we've got, boy, this smells like cancer. It smells like plastic that's been baking. Here's a tiger of something or another. I don't know what tiger it is. It's probably somebody tiger tried to melt the thing through. You know, I'm going to put this on a stand, and this thing's going to look grand. And we might use this for an early tiger. You know? It looks okay. We just need to give her some TLC, and she'll be fine. You know? What else we got in here? We got metal stands. What the hell am I going to do with that? We got German infantry, classic German infantry from Airfix. I got some of those guys. These are the Eschi Germans, which I had a pack of those too. These are super spindly. I don't know if they were by being in a hot environment, they got even softer than they normally are, but they did. We have some figures here that I do not recognize who they are. We'll have to go on Plastic Soldier Review. Maybe they're engineers. Guy looks like he's stoking a flame or something, stoking a fire with some coals. Yeah, I mean, they're super soft. I painted some this soft and they're okay. Maybe miners. Nazi miners. The Germans. Okay. What else we got over here? We got some guys that are. We could strip the paint off these guys. This is Americans. This is might even be like Korean era Americans. We got a Garand. Might work for like 1944 Americans. Where the hell's my Jeffrey? Jeffrey knows all this stuff. Guy's got a grease gun throwing a grenade. I really need to take a before and after. Some guys with some 50s. That's handy. I won't put them off to rebase them on other stand, but that's handy. So when you add primer to these soft plastic figures, well, you wash them first. Then you add primer. It's got to be an acrylic primer. Paint it with acrylic paints. Seal it with an acrylic sealant. They harden up quite a bit. These barrels that look like they're super soft, they harden up quite a bit. So, all right. Then we've got some Germans here that look like they've got Zeltbahn on. Like this guy's like, hot potato, look at this guy. He's carrying a couple of mines. Always had paint flake off that soft plastic. Yeah, I did too, but I didn't prime them properly. So, this isn't a huge priority to paint these guys. Like I said, I only got these because you just wanted to move them. Well, here's something I've never had and had never any intention to ever get. Goliaths. For those of you guys who don't know what a Goliath is basically R2-D2 that blows up. It is a radio-controlled demolition device that they used to like clear minefields and stuff like that. And actually at Kursk, I think they were used for the first time at Kursk, and they were either in the same unit or near the same unit that had elephants. I'm sorry, Ferdinands at that time. I never would have bought one. Now I have a few. I'm like, fuck it, let's paint one. You know? Got some guys with STG 44s. Thought they were wire control. I thought they were radio. I could be wrong. One of us is wrong. Hey, it could be me. I don't care. It won't be the first time I'm wrong. These are some U.S. paratroopers from Airfix. I have some of them, but mine were freaking blue. You know? They're organized, so at least I know what it is. These are Eschi British Army. I have a set of these, and they're like super necky. Got long, lanky necks. They look like Fred Astaire or something like that. I think that's Fred Astaire. It's got super lanky neck. Grown-ass man's 130 pounds. These are Airfix Marines, which for some reason look a little smaller. But they're good. Almost all the poses of these Airfix Marines are really good. I have some of them already. Who's this? These Nips? I mean, it's a good light machine gun. I don't know who the hell these guys are. Let's see what weapon he's got. Nope, they're definitely not Nips. Guy's got a magazine. It's got a magazine coming out. I don't know who the hell these guys are. They look like they're Eschi figures. One of you guys will know. Maybe they're Rangers or something. I don't know. And then these guys, I don't know what manufacturer they are. Like, hey, can I get a guy that looks like he's been shot? Here's something I've never seen. A guy prone firing a Thompson. That's pretty freaking cool. Weird helmet. I don't know who the hell these guys are. Maybe they're British paratroopers? I don't know. They got flaps on that helmet. Odd. If you're just joining us and you're wondering, what did I miss in 34 minutes? Folks, strap yourself in. It's out of control. It's out of control what people didn't want in their lives anymore. So, I think we got some guy looks like he's attached to a parachute, which is funny because this might actually be useful for a scenario. That's what's in this Men of War. So these 3 half tracks and then these 3 trays of this stuff was from Don for $20. Oh, then the first guy that I bought this stuff from for $2, he had this Operation Cobra. I guess this is an Osprey. It's got some good art in it, and I think it was $5. So, yeah, it's like a hard backed Osprey. Okay, we're still not done. They had a table where it says free, and no, I didn't just take everything. I actually looked through each one. Old issues of War Games Illustrated. And I only grabbed ones that had World War II scenarios and things of the like. So I don't know, I got what, a dozen, 10, something like that here. These were free. All right, so how much have I spent at this point in Orlando? 15, 20 for Don, that's 35. Marty got 10, that's 45. And the book, $50. So $50 got me all that stuff in the scale that I do things in. Okay? Not bad. Not bad at all. Like I said, some things are such a big win that you don't mind like other things not being that good of a deal, right? All right. I gotta wash up. Okay, so we got our hand sanitizer down here. So I leave Orlando this morning with this stuff in the back, which is a lot of stuff. Okay, and it's a lot of stuff. We're gonna do all this stuff live. So if you're interested in any of this stuff, if there's any of this stuff that you guys had a hankering for me doing first, let me know in the comment section. Let me know if there's something you would like for me to move to the top of the queue. I'm not saying you're going to get it, but hey, if something that works for you is something that works for me, we all win. I am probably more likely to build the things that there's nothing wrong with first, so that we can have surefire wins, and then go with the things that we have to repaint and so forth. That's normally the way I do things. Okay? All right. So I leave Orlando this morning, and I head to an IPMS show called Pelican. It's in Tampa, and they have these vendors that are selling things. And they wanted to move stuff. Okay? Let's see if I can get this in the correct order so you can understand why I got what I got in the order. This is basically in the order that I got these things in, the way I described them. Okay? And again, I don't need anything. I was actually like, okay, if I don't find anything at the show, I'm going to order some buildings to paint, like one building or something like that. Yeah, I spent more than one building. But again, this is stuff that people didn't want, and I'm like, let's make it happen, right? All right. So I go to Tampa, and there was a guy that was selling this. Now, I only have one Tiger One. Well, I got that one that got to rebuild. I only have one Tiger One. It is a Cromwell Models. It is gorgeous. And I waited 20 years to ever paint it until I had some skills to do it. This has Zimmerit. It's hard to find things with Zimmerit, and I'm not going to put it on myself. So this guy was cool because he left the shrink wrap on it, but it's like you could open it. And it has Zimmerit. So this is a Dragon Zimmerit late Tiger One. It's got some photo etch stuff on here. This retails for like $30 or something like that. Brand new, never opened, $9.95. Okay, steel wheels, a freaking cable. I mean, a cable to do the cable, like, that's freaking great. Okay? So I'm not a huge Tiger One fan, but believe me, I got enough freaking Soviets. We need, I can get some Tigers. I got a lot of Soviets. I got a lot of Shermans too. Okay? So this was $10 at Pelican from one of the vendors. Same vendor. This is probably the worst deal that I got of everything else. Is I think I just paid full price for this. But this is so hard to get. Waterloo 1915. This is a soft plastic soldier company called Waterloo 1815, which is a misnomer because you think, oh, all they do is do Napoleonic stuff. No, that's just the name of the company. They do a lot of World War II stuff. I haven't opened this at all, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to get. This thing was $10, and it is a Japanese. It's the only thing. Spoiler alert: the only thing that I got for the Pacific, specifically. But Marcus gave me a shitload of Japanese infantry. I've got probably a platoon already in white metal, and now they have a short little infantry gun with. I'd say it's a Bangalore torpedo, but I actually think these crazy bastards actually had this bomb at the end of a stick, and they ran and hand placed it onto the tank, and it blew them to Kingdom Come as well. So suicide guys. So, and a couple rifle grenade guys. I don't have any Japanese rifle grenade guys. It's really short. I don't know what caliber gun this is. Maybe like a 10 caliber or something like that. It's really, really short. 70 millimeter. 70 millimeter gun and anti-tank crew. Well, the anti-tank crew is this guy putting a little bomb that's going to blow the tank to Kingdom Come. And looks like he's got an ATR, which I didn't know the Japanese even had an ATR, anti-tank rifle. And a rifle grenade. And the crew for the gun. This is the 3-man crew for the 70 millimeter gun. That's going to be super cute. That's the only thing that I kind of bought on a whim at this place. It's just so weird to find something like that. And this is something, now we start going off the deep end. I start going into things that I normally would not have bought. But the price was just too good on them. I've been wanting to get these for the longest time. I don't think I've ever built one of these kits. I know you guys have built a million of these growing up. I didn't. Matchbox Walrus. $4. I'm like, I don't know if the decals are any good, but I talked about one time about building some float planes. I'm a big naval gamer, or used to be, and I know it says $4.95, but it was actually $4. So there's actually one vendor, I don't know who he was, but he actually had a model that I picked up. I already picked this one up, and he had a Matchbox Ferry Sea Fox, and it had $3 written on it. And I'm like, oh, I'll pick it up for $3. Oh, no, they're $5. I said, but it says $3 on it. That's the old pricing. I walked away. I didn't need it bad enough, you know. The Ferry Sea Fox, I would have had to buy decals anyways. I would have done it for the one that's on the Achilles. They make a set for the Achilles at Battle River Platte. Anyways, I just wanted to build a walrus. I've always launched these off my British battleships in the war game all the time. I'm like, let's paint it up. Okay? $4. Like, can't go wrong. Okay? Oh, and I had to actually pay $8 to get into that show, which I wasn't expecting, but it is what it is. Then we had, and told him I was going to give him credit. I talked to this guy for a long time. Daytona Racing, Souvenirs, and Hobbies. He has a shop at the flea market in Daytona that I went to a couple months ago, or a month ago, and didn't see any of this stuff. But he had Osprey books and things that are like Osprey books. And the price he had on them was 3 for $10. And there's nothing wrong with these. I mean, yeah, they're old. They've been sitting on somebody's shelf. There's nothing wrong with them. So here we go. Osprey Vanguard 251 half-track. I know it's backwards, sorry. Sturm Artillery and Panzerjäger. Panzerkampf, I don't have any of these. Panzerkampfwagen 4. These two assholes. Piper and Skorzeny. Ardennes, 1940. I don't know anything about Skorzeny and Piper. I really don't. And I'm, so I got a King Tiger to finish painting. This bastard. Tomeshi. For Bulge. Maybe I'll get some inspiration and know what number I'll put it in there for that. Vehicles in detail. SDKFZ 231 and 234 series. Color plates and things like that. I don't know how much these retail for. Is this casement? No, I don't know who the hell makes this. Military vehicles in detail. Ian Allen Publishing. 3 for $10. Oh, there's more. Operation Barbarossa. This is normally one I wouldn't have gotten. Like, how could a book this thick cover Barbarossa in any detail? Well, there's some photographs I've never seen in here before of wrecked Russian vehicles and things like that. Yeah. More wrecks and like. Oh, there's more. Last of the Panzers, German tanks 44-45. I know, everything's backwards. I apologize. I can't fix it. More wrecks. Lots of wrecks in here. Lots of wrecks. I mean, they've sat on a shelf. They're brand new. Maybe I'll find one that somebody wrote in. Okay. I was going to look through them. So here's one thing. I got tired of standing up so long, looking through stuff, like bent over. Man, I just, after a while, you're like, okay, I'll take that and that. Sherman tank and British service from Osprey. Osprey Vanguard. Churchill tank from Osprey. This I wasn't expecting. The 6th Panzer Division, 1937-45. Because in my Wintergewitter project, that's what my units will be for the 6th Panzer. And it's almost impossible to find photographs of them in that December 1942 scheme, except in this book. There's a ton of them. Well, there's a few. Okay, there's a few in them. You know, we've got some snowy half-tracks down here. We got, looks like they put it on with chalk camouflage for the snow. It talks a bit about them. So, pretty cool. Okay. I have several of these. I just don't have one on the Panzerkampfwagen G, H, and J. So, color plates, so forth. Okay. Stood 3 and 4. I actually got it because it has stuff on the 4. It's hard to find info on the 4. They only made 1/10 as many 4s, but it's hard to find stuff on the 4. Remember, these are all 3 for $10. Because these are like $25 books. Remagen 1945, you know, full color Osprey. I mean, that's why I got this much stuff. I don't need any of this, but I'm like, I'm not leaving that for that price. I'm not leaving it for that. You know, maybe I'll use it. I'll put it on here. I'll inspire you guys for something. I don't know. I don't know how much this book costs, but this is not $3.33. Last of the Panzers. This is the Hungary thing. I don't know anything about it. I know all the really, you know, you got full color maps and stuff. You know, orders of battle. This is that last offensive that happened in, was it January 45? Operation Conrad. I'm not an Alamein fan. I do like the desert. Alamein is just too late, but I'm like, this is too nice to not take this for $3. It's a Squadron Signal publication. You got some full color plates in the middle. Aircraft. Desert aircraft. Not leaving that for $3. Berlin, 1945. Normally I wouldn't be interested in this at all, but I got some really late war stuff, including the little Utes, and this is perfect for them. Oh, well, there's a Soviet clusterfuck. You know, this retails for like freaking $20 or more than that. $3, brand new. Here's one that really interests me. Flea 1944. Lots of stuff on that. Orders of battle, all that stuff. Orders of battle with tanks and tank types in them. Oh, I do have something else for the Pacific. This is a casement, American Army in the Pacific. I don't know how much this goes for. How much is it? $24.95. I got it for $3. I have a Kursk one. What else is in the series here? Kursk, Aguilar Armor in Normandy, Valet Pocket. Yeah, these have a lot of black and white things, and there's color stuff in them as well. Oh. Stewie. German Armor in Normandy. Same type of book. You have full color plates in here. Brand new. It doesn't even have a corner that's even been touched. And he threw in this. He said, "This is not a very good book, but it just has some basic stuff in it." He threw this in. So all of this was $45. All these books right here. I gotta be careful. This table's not gonna be able to handle this. How much else we got? I'm gonna have to move it off to the side. We're gonna have to move it over here. I'm gonna need a bigger room. All right. No comments. You guys must just be like in awe that I got this. Look, timing is everything. All right. Then we're still in Tampa. Then I walked around and I saw, this is another kind of a whim thing. I think this that I'm going to pull out is going to get several pretty excited. And I think Marcus, I know Marcus isn't watching right now, Marcus is going to like this, okay? And this is the example of why the internet is so great. Because I looked at this and I'm like, I don't need one of those. They only used them in Norway. And then I looked it up on the internet and they actually had 3 of them that went to Barbarossa. And I'm not going to pronounce this son of a bitch. Because I'm not going to pronounce it, but I'm going to pronounce it. Neubau Fahrzeug. Number 5. So this is they only need 5 of these things. This is a Pro Armor kit. $10. And this has got, I don't know what this is made out of. This is like some super interesting track. You know, this is what this thing looks like. Beautiful model. Beautiful model. I looked it up I have my phone. I'm like, did you see combat? And there's several that went to Norway, but only one got into action against like the British. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to buy it. And then like, oh, after that, they went to Barbarossa, supposedly, and got taken out by some BT-7s. I'm like, shit, I got 7 BT-7. I got 4 BT-7s. Scenario. $10. All right. And yes, the wife already saw this first. You know, I'm pretty frugal, but it's like, when are you gonna have the opportunity to grab stuff like this at these prices? You know, you gotta make hay while the sun still shines. I wanted to get some aircraft. This walrus is kind of on a whim, okay? But I've been wanting one for a long time. But my whole purpose in getting aircraft was to put them on bases as objectives for my skirmish war game. Okay, the same way I did the SDKF Z222, the same way I did the the Humber armored car that I got that were destroyed when I got them. I'm like, well, I might as well turn them into a wreck, and they were really a lot of fun to do, and they turned out really well. And I want to do aircraft specifically for the Battle of City Rizal. Damn it, Rizay. Damn you, Tick. I'm starting to pronounce it like him. The City Rizay, which was at the beginning of Operation Crusader. The British launched this counteroffensive, and the Crusader tanks literally break into this Axis airfield and destroy like a whole squadron of there might have been some Italian planes. I have a feeling it's German planes on the ground. Like, I don't think that they drove through them, but they literally didn't shoot them down. Like, they didn't get up in the air. One plane supposedly went airborne and they shot it down somehow. Okay? But the rest of the planes were shot on the ground by Crusader tanks. So, they have no HE. So they're going to be, shooting them with machine guns and stuff. So I want to make some wrecks. I don't want them to be, not a wreck like bam, when they hit the ground, but like they're just like, landing gears collapsed. Their, wings are kind of, you don't want to make them too destroyed because then it's actually too much. It's a lot of work, a lot of scratch building. So I wanted to try that with things that were inexpensive. I don't want to buy a $10 model and like, I've never done a wreck before, right? So I'm looking around for planes of that period. And I'm trying to figure out if this Messerschmitt Bf 109 F2 is of the period. And it's this was like a really new plane when it came out. This was like state of the art for the desert. I'm not worried if it's a tropicalized version or not. I don't get anal retentive like that, okay? But it just barely made the cut. And it's the only thing I could find to buy at this guy. I said, well, how much are your models? Actually, I was looking at him, and he goes, hey, they're $4 a piece. Buy one, get one. I'm like, hold on a second. So this is $4, and I buy this for $4, and you throw in another model that's also in that same category for no additional cost. He's like, yeah. I got a Soviet one. Okay, and I'm probably going to do this as an objective marker as well. Okay, it's a biplane I-15 BIS. Both of these together, $4. Together for both of them. Like, insane. Just insane. Okay, insane. Now, I definitely wanted to get a 109E. All right. Other guy selling these for $5 a piece. So they're both air fixes. One of them is, it looks like the older packaging. They're 109Es. They're going to be for desert, so they're going to be painted in this style, which I am not a fan of this paint scheme. I'm not a fan of this yellow paint scheme with the splotches on it, but that's what they used. I think this looks a lot better, but I don't need to do Battle of Britain, and that's what this is. Is this Galan's plane? It's not. Whose plane is this? This Mulder's plane? Franz von Vera. Never heard of him. Never heard of her. Anyways, that's what the purpose of these things are. So my plan is I'm going to open both of these up. Whichever one looks the shittiest, I'm going to build as the wreck. And that's probably going to go pretty close to the front of the queue. I want to see how it works out. Okay? So if one is nicer than the other one, okay, we're not going to build that one as the wreck first. The wreck may suck. It's because planes are really delicate. When you start putting holes in them and things like that, you start seeing the skeleton and the inside, and that's a bit too much work. So they need to just be non-flyable, right? They went in there, shot them up, got some holes in them. Maybe they burned, but not too badly. Otherwise, I don't need to spend a lifetime on one plane, okay? But that's the story between both of these. And I don't know if these decals are any good, but this is the kind of decal. I don't know what squadron this is. I think this is Marseille Squadron, but they definitely were in the desert. But that's the camouflage scheme that they're going to have. I don't know anything. I am the most ignorant about World War II about aircraft. That doesn't mean I'm ignorant. I'm just compared to naval and land, I don't know shit, you know? So, compared to those two. But, so I don't know what squadrons were, which one this one is. I want to say it's JG 53, 1, 2, I don't know which one. But it's an opportunity to learn something. Okay? So, I'm like, all right, I'm done with this thing. We've already made like a killing on this stuff. And I'm walking away, and I see a bright green sticker with the number 5 on it. And I'm looking at this. I see 5, and I see these 2 stars, which is Tamiya. Which, for those of you guys that don't know, as far as I'm concerned, Tamiya is the gold standard as far as everything. My favorite model, Tamiya. Now, they don't make tanks in 1/72nd scale. They just don't. But they make aircraft in 1/72nd scale, and this is one of them. Now, for those of you guys that don't know what this is a ground strike aircraft that the Germans used. That, as far as I'm concerned, what it's the most famous for is at Kursk. Okay, it mounted a big freaking gun on the bottom of it. Okay, so I plan on making this a wreck. That's at least what my idea. For $5 freaking, I'm like, well, why is this so cheap? And he's like, oh, this is cheap because whoever had it before decided to paint the nose cones red. And they also decided to paint the propellers already. I'm like, that's it? Well, hopefully all the parts are here. But I'm like, I'll take a $5 risk, okay, for a Tamiya kit. Now, here's the bloody cannon that's underneath here. Now, what I'm probably going to do, I have not finished an aircraft, okay? So I don't want my first aircraft to be a wreck because I want to be able to make an aircraft that's in working order first. So I'm probably going to do the Walrus first. We know she's not going to be wrecked, you know. Probably a safe bet. Make sure I'm happy with how my panel lines and the washing. I'm going to do them in a similar way that I do my tanks. So I'm probably going to put money that I'm going to be happy how it turns out. But to be determined. Same vendor. This is also a splurge. It was right next to it. Airfix Messerschmitt 110. Now this is totally like a rescue scenario. You know, I have 20 millimeter German aircraft crews, like from their FAA. God help me, but their FAA, and like you got to go rescue those guys. So you know, and this actually has a couple different sets of decals. And a lot of these planes don't have crooked spiders with them. I have a whole sheet of them. So, these actually have ones you put together and then you get to be the Nazi. But I plan on making this, maybe making it a wreck. Unless I do one of those Messerschmitts as a wreck, I don't like how it turns out. I'm like, okay, wrecking's not for me. Then, you know. Anyhow. Yeah, these are interesting planes. They either have the Hornet, which is one squadron used the Hornet, and there's some 109s that also use that, so they have both of them, and the Shark's Mouth. The Shark's Mouth was used on P-40s, all kinds of different planes. So, but the Germans and Allies also used it. Okay, is that everything? Is that everything that we got at the model show? Yeah. So, you know, cleaned up. Let's see. So what is this? $45. 10, 15. 15. This is 25. This is 4. 27. 37. 37 and 5 is 42, and 10 is 52, and another 10 is 62, 60. So it's about $100. $100 is, I mean, you know, it's like, when am I going to have that opportunity to get that stuff? Okay. Now I'm not going to like, hey, let's start building a little bit of this one. No, we're not going to do that yet. You know, when you could have chaos, but you got to have some order. You have madness, but you got to have some order. All right. So now I'm like, all right, I got some German planes. I don't have the correct German colors for them, right? Which I could probably use the Vallejo equivalents, but I was gonna go to I guess this is my early birthday present, even though my birthday's a way away. Um, I didn't need any of this shit, but like at these prices, like I'm not gonna leave them. You can't go to a hobby store and pick any of this stuff up. All right, and need to put a dent on this stuff because the next model shows in June. I hope things are really expensive there, so I don't feel tempted to buy stuff. I don't know. Was this the right call? I don't know. We'll see. So we go to Spray Gunner, which if you haven't been to Spray Gunner, I believe they're spraygunner.com. They have purveyors of all kinds of things, paint and so forth. This is their spraygunner.com. I know it's backwards. Sorry. I didn't ask for it to be backwards. I don't know why you'd want the camera to be backwards. Spraygunner.com. They ship all over the U.S., and I'm sure they ship outside the U.S., but the shipping rates are really inexpensive. All right, so what do we need to get? Well, we got German planes, so we needed to get the Ammo air set for the desert. So you got the underside color, you got the top side color in the yellow. Wingtips, which I didn't need. I've got freaking yellows I could use, but it came with it. Underside, top side, and the splotches in the green. This is definitely the place where they have good prices, but compared to this other stuff, this shit was expensive compared to the rest of the stuff. So, I've had all kinds of situations with airbrushes falling on the ground. So I got something I can clamp onto my airbrush table, and it airbrush sits in a cradle. So it's not just like with a tip in, and then it vibrates out and falls on the ground. So got that. This is pretty inexpensive. I look forward to using some of this stuff in here. This is a attachment connection so what it allows you to do is it's a quick connect hose, so you can disconnect it quickly. And also, once you get your air in the right place, it's got this knob that you can adjust it even more. So let's say you get down to like 10 psi and you can't really go any lower than that without sputtering. This allows you to fine tune that and get some even more fine tune action. That's how it's supposed to work. I've done enough of it that I think I may not be a lost cause on me. Some tape that supposedly is the AK tape. I think this is AK tape. Yeah, MIG tape for masking off that edge that goes along the side of those Messerschmitts, and hopefully it doesn't pull the paint off from underneath. Primer. I haven't been happy with the Vallejo primer. So there was the one-shot AK and also the one that was made by, it's got a weird-ass freaking name. The guy recommended the one-shot primer from Ammo. So we're going to give that a shot. And, of course, it's in black. Why would I prime in any color other than black? They throw me some stickers and stuff for them, because I like to promote them. It's a super cool place. If you're ever in the Tampa area, the place is so organized, it's like going to a fucking spa for a dude. It's like a dude spa. Pin. We'll put that on our hat. Free brush cleaner stuff. And I needed a refill of Strong Tone. Now, that's where we're at, except one thing. I was on the fence, and I decided to pull the trigger on it. It's what I call my big splurge of all these things. It's definitely the most expensive. Actually, the most expensive thing so far was, no item has been really expensive. I don't think even a single model was $15. They were all like 10 or less. So my big $30 splurge, and I've seen these books online. Ammo MiG Battle of Kursk. Why did I pick this up? Dude, there is some insane stuff in here. And what I mean is, like, other than the color plates, which, you can find a lot of that stuff online, check this out. Let me see if I can find it. I know I can find it. The question is, can I find it quickly? Losses for each one of the groups. There is a chart here in color that shows the Ferdinands in the 2 units. Well, now I can't find it. It's in full color. It's got to be towards the back, I would think. Soviet markings and stuff like that. Still got T-34s to do. Different hits on different Panthers. Let me find this. This was the thing that sold me on it. This isn't it, but here's an example. Like, it literally tells you the Tigers that were in 1st SS and Das Reich, what they were numbered. All of them. All 13. First platoon, 2nd platoon, 3rd platoon of both units. They do the same thing with the the Ferdinands. As soon as I find the damn Ferdinands, and they even tell you which ones were knocked out. How many Panzer IIIs, 4s, Tigers, and Stugs they had at the start of the operation, how many were irrecoverable losses, how many were combat ready. Come on. The Soviet units, the Tank Corps, 26 T-34s, 5 T-70s, 2 Churchills. I didn't realize they mixed the Churchills in with some of the other ones. The Lend-Lease Churchills were mixed in with faster tanks. Different Tank Corps, how many tanks were in each one from the Soviets. It's hard to find stuff on the Soviets. It really is. One second here. It must be at the top. It must be at the front. I didn't just imagine this. Come on. Dude, it's like the coolest thing and I can't find it. It's in here somewhere. It literally lists every single Ferdinand that was in here. And which ones were knocked out. Yeah, here's some of them right here. I mean, look at this paint scheme. I've never seen something like that. For Kursk. It's usually this. I've got a pre-painted one from Dragon. I believe it's 501 that has this kind of markings on it. No. Oh. It was in this book, wasn't it? Anyhow, this is all like trying to peel back the layers of exactly what was there, what was what. I'm sure there'll be some cool stuff I'm going to encounter here, read out to you guys. Story time, you know? I don't know where it is, but it was full color. I think it was in here. The only thing I looked in it was like tanks in Italy. I didn't pick that up. I'm like, it's gonna be a while before we go to. I don't want to make specific Italian, German stuff because the German stuff that was in Italy, it just wasn't very exciting. Like the units and stuff, I don't get excited about them. I'm okay doing Italy. Yeah, I think the Allied stuff in Italy is a hell of a lot more exciting than the German stuff. I don't know where it is. Maybe it was part of the Italian one. But I remember having like these little flame symbols on all the. Oh, was that it? There it is. Gee whiz. Okay, so here is the two anti-tank battalions that had Ferdinands at Kursk. One of them was the 653rd, one of them the 654th. And here it tells you which ones got flamed. That's crazy. And what the numbers of all of them were. So the 654th had the fifth, the 6th, and the 7th company, and the 653rd had the 1st, 2nd, and the 3rd. So like that 501 I have, I think that's what it's called. 501 is one that got knocked out. 501. I knew it was in here somewhere. Cool stuff. So, that's what I got. That's what I got. I got plenty to fool around with. I didn't need anything to begin with. You know? Fortunately, I didn't need anything to begin with. But I'm like, you know, by the time you go to a couple places, you spend, I don't know, we'll round up $50 worth of gas. You know, you spend one hotel room, and you spend entering the $8 to go to one show, $45 for the other convention. You know, you've got some investment already in it. You might as well try to get more bang out of the buck out of other things. So, but anyhow, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to keep going, okay? Maybe another half hour. I'm going to take a look at some stuff, because I literally have not looked at any of these things, okay? You guys either fell asleep or you're in awe. You know, I am not a compulsive buyer at all, by any stretch of the imagination. I buy things when I need them, but sometimes it's like, I'm not going to leave that, because I know what my track record is on buying things lately and finishing them. I've been doing really good. I've been doing really, really good. So let's just keep that going. I'm going to open up these two Messerschmitts, see which one looks better. Okay? Let's move this stuff off to the side. And hopefully the decals on the Walrus are okay. If they're not, I'm gonna have to move that off to the side. I don't want to like get the $4 kit and all of a sudden like, hey, you gotta order $12 decals now. You know? Change the chat to all chat. I did before. Did I fuck it up again? It says all messages. It's on all messages. It's been on all messages. I'll change it to top messages. And then we'll change it to all messages again. You know what? It didn't show any of those texts at all to me. All right. Son of a bitch. Fucking technology. All right. So play. The last one I saw was the Laugh Out Loud from Lanchneck. That was the last one. So let's read through here. We could both be right. I don't think we were both right. I think they're either wire guided or radio controlled. Nice cheap weekend. I couldn't pass this up, Jeffrey. I couldn't pass this up. I have a couple of those Dragon ones, each one of the Krupp and Rheinmetall versions. There was an other, there was a Hasegawa Tiger that, you know, I mean, you have access to everything. So I went on Scalemates and it's like, it didn't get a very good review. It was also $10. I'm like, I don't need it. Soldering iron is a nice tool for melting plastic for wreckage. Ooh, we need a breathing device for that. I-15, good for Nachhetzen. Oh yeah, the Night Witches. Van Vera was the only German POW to escape from the British mainland. Wow, it's a movie for that. That's interesting. I've never heard of that guy. You had a great uncle who was a P-38 ace. Awesome. Instant model kit stash. Instant, yeah. Yeah. You know, what do you think? Should I have left this stuff? No, I should have bought it. Didn't some of the Ferdinands knock themselves out at Cursed by overheating engines? I know that the Panthers definitely did. I think the Panthers definitely did. I don't know about the Ferdinands. Yo, how's it going? I see some old Airfix kits. Yep. That's the problem with shows. You don't know what you need until you get there. Damn FOMO. I don't need any of this stuff. I'm not leaving a $2 kit. I'm not leaving a $2 kit. I'm just not going to do it. You know, do I need any more Shermans? No. But, you know, it was nice. Look, it was nice that I picked up mostly Allied stuff. It wasn't like, you know, wearaboo, 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 wearaboo. You know, it's like other people make cool stuff too, you know? The Germans have to fight somebody. So yeah, we got 3 more Shermans. We got a couple of 5. I don't know what the hell those 5.5 inch guns are useful for. The Matadors are useful for, you know, but $2 for a Matador? That's a good deal. I don't have a Daimler Mark II. Of all the things I have, the thing I want the least is an M4A1 half track. I just don't need one. I still probably build it, but I just don't need one. And it's kind of cool that I got another T-34-85, or really 2 of them, and they're in 1/76 scale. You know, there was a film based on his escape called The Mackenzie Break. Never heard of it. Hey, look, another Czech 38, like a hole in the head. You know what? I got them all finished though. So, pretty cool. All right, let's take a look at these take a look at these 109s and see what's different on them. One of these is going to be a wreck. And that's why you guys watch. Why did I fumble? Because I'm wearing fucking glasses. Mole man! You can never have too many T-34s. You can never have too many T-34s. Or Shermans. You can never have either too many of those. And by a wreck, I mean like the landing gear is going to be crumpled, right? It's going to be sitting on its belly. Maybe the propeller's bent. Maybe I'll split this will be open or something. You know, not like showing the insides. Damn mole man. These are all bent to shit. Anyways, I'd say I'd have a successful trip. But that's the thing that I noticed immediately. Model shows have a plethora of models that are priced to move. They're priced to move. Now, what was I disappointed in? I would have liked a Fischler Storch, right? A Fischler Storch for $4, I'd be all over that. Like, that's for scenarios. I would have liked some Italian aircraft, like a G50 or an MC-202 or a 200. I think it. Anyways, one of them, the one that looks like a P-47. Maybe it's the G50. Anyways, one of those to make as Rex. No Italian aircraft. Actually, there was Italian aircraft that were made by a company called Schmer. I think it's Schmer. S-M-E-R. And they were 1/50th scale. Like, fail. You know, what in the unholy Lindbergh got into you to make it in that scale? That's just ridiculous to make something in that scale. So, and some people are like, oh yeah, you know that, I was talking to one lady's like, you know, those are kind of small to build. I'm like, as long as it's not the skiff T-26s that I have to put the freaking photo etch at 90 degrees with no ledge for them to sit on. Yeah, that's a nightmare. The rest of this, as long as it's not vacuform, I'm not doing vacuform. Everything else is easy. Now, we got some decals here that are probably older than the crust in anybody's underwear. The least important, and not everything was priced well. Like, there's one guy that had like these kits bagged, and it said 109. It said Focke-Wulf 190, but it was a 109 that was in there with the wrong, the wrong instructions. I don't need the right instructions, but if the right instructions also cost $5, might as well get the right one. You know. All right, let me make sure that I haven't had a comment in a while. All right, I'm not purposely trying to ignore you, just as technology doesn't do its thing. Oh, what it is? Airfix magazine for beginners. Okay, Jeffrey, how old is this thing? If you have any inquiry about this product, write to Airfix Complaints Department, Leicestershire. This is an ugly ass color. This is like the color of like a French plane would be in. And again, so this is probably the contender for the one that's going to be the wreck first. Because It does not have. It does not have recessed panel lines. It has panel lines that go up. Okay, so normally this is where the gap would be. Again, I'm not interested in entering in an IPMS thing. Like, this works just fine for me. Okay, but this one does not have recessed panel lines. It has raised panel lines, which is 180 degrees wrong. Okay, definitely a contender for being a wreck. Okay, let's see if this is the same model. Kid is 1980s. Not the same model. Okay, and they didn't have two of these, so it's not like Bang Scissors bought two of these. No, they had like one of each. Okay, so this one has. This looks nice. I look at Airfix and I go, Airfix stuff isn't very good. I mean, as general, I mean, it's just kind of my impression. But there's some Airfix stuff that's pretty good, and I would say this is pretty damn nice. Everything about this looks really, really good. You have the newer tool 109. It looks really good, man. It looks really good. So what I don't want to do is take this nice looking model, try to make a wreck out of it, realize that I failed miserably. It's not likely to happen. I might fail miserably on my first attempt, but I'm sure I could fix it to where we'll all be happy with it. Okay? But I don't want to do that with a nice one first. I want to do it with the other one. "2014 Club is available." Okay, so this is maybe only 10 years old. And we have all kinds of markings. I'm the first one to tell you, I have zero interest in putting this is not a step type markings, okay, on there, which there's a shitload of them. I'm not putting them on there. That is super anal retentive. Not interested. I say that now, and it comes with no crooked spider. I've got a whole sheet of them in all kinds of different scales. And yes, mine will have them on there. And no, I won't show them on this video because I don't want the bots getting into trouble. Okay, I haven't looked at any of this stuff, and I would have picked up the Matchbox fairy, the floatplane, whatever the hell it's called. I can't remember what it is. Fairy Sea Fox. If the guy, it said $3 on it, and the guy wanted, well, it's $5. I said, well, it says $3 on it. Well, that's the old price. I was like, I didn't need that bad. Knowing you'll paint them. I have to. And we'll all come along with it. You know, we'll bring you guys, you know, maybe you'll learn something from the mistakes that I do. You know, I still make mistakes. I can just fix them all now. You know, I'm like, it's not demoralizing. When you're 12 years old and you make a mistake, you're like, you can't deal with that shit, you know? All right, let's see. I've never put one of these together. I mean, a Matchbox aircraft. Never. Who in the Margaret Thatcher taped this together? You know, the decals look like they're okay. Woo! Hello. I don't know what the hell that was. Oh. A propeller. A prop. I see recessed panel lines. I don't know if it has all the right. Holy brightness! Poke my eye out. They're raised here. I don't care. So what I'm going to do is I would give it a wash of Melon oil. I want to build an aircraft that's not damaged first, so that I know that I'm happy with how I'm painting aircraft. So it's likely, I know, I can go back and build the P-40 or the Spitfire that I have. I'm I'm probably gonna build this walrus first. I like British stuff anyways. I like British stuff a lot. So yeah. Yeah, it's got raised panel lines where it should be recessed. I'm okay with that. It's not a big deal. It looks like it goes together really well. It's pretty big. I think it's an attractive aircraft. No, I'm not going to put wires between them. I don't think so. Assembly. It's funny, the instructions look really similar to Airfix, but Airfix would have a zillion more pieces. Okay. That looks pretty cool. Clear parts, yep, we'll put those on with Elmer's glue. We're not going to use super glue or the model glue where it frosts. Matchbox are a bit easier and more forgiving to put together. Yeah, I want the challenge painting things. You know that. I don't mind putting it together and being challenging, but I don't shy away from separate link track. Separate link track that's some empowering stuff right there. Once I figured it out. Always liked the walrus. You know, walrus on Warspite. I may not use these decals because I want one that, you know, although I like this camouflage scheme, looks awesome. Reading your mind about the cables on the wings. I did lots of Matchbox AFVs. I remember their kits fitting really well. Never did one. That's not true. I have one of, I had the SDKFZ, the 251. I have it. I guess, because I have a model of it. It's, I think, a B. I think is what it is. So, okay, that's cool. I was bummed out about the German half tracks with having the tracks, and I found them and came with an extra half track. So I'm like, okay, win-win. You know, in that situation, I don't mind. It was going to a guy that I know. This one's the mystery. This thing is a mystery right here. You got an M4. It says M4. Honestly, it looks like the 105 that I have. It looks like an M4A3 105 with EZ8 suspension. Right? And it comes with a Jeep. That's cool. We can always use a Jeep. But it's got an M4A1 hull. Which is good, because I got lots of welded hulls. I could use more cast ones. I don't have enough. So, I don't know what is going on here. It's definitely an M4A1. It's only got a single hatch at the top. Yeah, this is like the wrong, or at least this is the wrong model. I know enough about Shermans. Wow, well, the instructions match. And it is an M4A1, so the box art's wrong. Well, I'm glad, because I'd rather... Okay, so is it EZ8 suspension? It's not. Oh, man, this is crazy. All right, so does it say the model kit number on here? Series 13 Nito. Oh, it's a Nito inside a Fujimi box, so it's the wrong box for it. Well, I'm glad it's an M4A1. I'd rather have an M4A1. Because this is a Normandy Sherman. You know, this is the first wave of Normandy Shermans. I have one that came with those big fucking mine rollers, already pre-built, and I repainted it. So now we have two. Excellent. Yeah, excellent. And it comes with a Jeep. Yeah, because if you have this kind of suspension, you're talking about, this is like around the time period of Market Garden forward. It might even be October 44. All right, right, what else do we have in here? Oh, Marcus, I don't know if you came in on here. Let's see if I was right. Did you get excited about this? I said, oh, Marcus is going to really be interested in this. Where did she go? Oh, I got more stuff down here. They went into Barbarossa. I read it. I pulled it up and they fought some BT-7s. So, mine's definitely going to be great. There's no point in sending it to Norway, especially when only one of them got in action. I'm not painting any Norwegian troops. Are there hedgerow cutters? Oh, that's a good question. I bet it doesn't come with them. I get Chad to 3D print me some. I don't believe I have any. Oh! No, that's suspension. Nope. Nope. Yeah, I could certainly use some hedgerow cutters. That's for damn sure. I like your thinking. I actually like the way hedgerow cutters look. I think they look good. I missed the first hour, but I'm going to rewatch. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a splurge. It was like freaking 10, but there's some cool stuff in here. Let me show you this. I opened this and I'm like, I was like, I wonder what's in there. And I opened it and I'm like, ooh. And then I'm like, well, let's see if they were in action other than in Norway. And they were, and I'm like, sold. Look at this. First of all, this is all one piece. Perfect. Right? Because I want to spend the time painting it. And this track, oh my God, it feels rubbery. Oh, it is like rubbery. It's freaking gorgeous. Now this has, I think, like a Panzer I turret. It's got the same 75 that's in a Mark IV. The early Mark IV. And if I do it in Russia, I don't have to give the tank commander that stupid ass Baker helmet. I know your wife's a baker, but I don't want bakers to go to war. That's silly, you know? So here's the decals it gives you from Norway 1940 and 1935. Beautiful. It's a cool vehicle. As soon as I figure out how to pronounce it. Neubau Fahrzeug. Number 2. It's like a $30-something kit. $30-something kit, brand new. Brand new. All right, let's open up this. I'm not a huge fan of Aguilar stuff. I'm not. Because they have some duds. This is probably not one of them. I believe I looked it up and found out if it was a piece of shit and it wasn't. No crooked spiders at all, even ones you put together. I honestly don't like the F model of the 109. It's a little too roundy for me. Call it a heavy tractor. Just keep super glue away from that track. Yep. Yeah, I don't like using super glue for much. Looks all right. Not too many pieces. What's the panel line situation look like on this Joker? Recessed. Okay. Recessed. Oh, the control panel looks good. It's in 3-dimensional. It's 3-dimensional. The gauges are 3D. I like that. We got stuff to keep us busy for a while. Now, I don't like these kind of boxes. I like the boxes that have a top opening because you never know when you're going to lose something. You just put those things in there and hope to God you don't lose it. Well, I'm not going to be traveling far with it. Unfortunately, I've got to bring one of these bins and bring it in here because I got too much shit now. I got way too much shit. What else do we want to look at? Oh, let's take a look at this I-15. And there was a guy, I know I've talked about this before. So here's where timing is everything. So I actually saw a guy, I didn't realize it was the same guy that I saw in Jacksonville. I ended up getting the Hitler Youth figures from. And I bought some other 20mm stuff from him in Jacksonville. And he was again, and he had some 1/72 scale kits. And one of them I was like, ooh, it was a Dragon Nashorn. It was $13. And I'm like, that was my first pass on the whole place. I didn't buy it because I hadn't seen everything else. And I went all the way to the end and then came back and it was gone. That's okay. You know, maybe somebody else got it. Hopefully whoever got it builds it. Nashorn is beautiful. But, you know, what am I doing with a Nashorn on a board that's only 200 meters across? I'm like, great, you got a tank that can knock things out, you know, miles away. And that's what you got. What kind of panel lines we got on this thing? Again, this was $2. Okay, so I don't care what this is. It was worth $2. Night witches, huh? More like night bitches. And I looked at it, does have decals. I don't know if they'll explode or not. What I don't want to get into is having to buy decals for these things, because that's when it starts not becoming a value. So what I was going to say is, I know I talked about this before. There was a vendor, it was in Jacksonville, the same guy was here, and it's 4 kits for $10. Okay? So you're talking about $250 a kit. None of them have decals. So I'm like, all right, let me see if I can find, like they had like a Westland Lysander. Perfect for my game, right? You go in, you got to go into that plane, they got to take off, you know, because it's one of those commandos that gets dropped behind enemy lines, French partisans, all that stuff works great. No decals, all right? Who has decals for Westland Lysander? I'm looking, and I'm having trouble finding. I'm like, okay, realize I'm spending $250 on this kit, and it's going to cause me all kinds of problems. I'm like, I don't need it right now. I'd rather just wait and then get one for $7 or something with already decals in it. You know, because any decal that you're going to mail order is going to cost you somewhere around $15. By the time you buy the ship, so I'm like, I'm not really getting it for $250. You know, there were 2 used in Ukraine and Romania. The heavy tractor? Yeah, that's what I looked it up, and they fought off some BT-7s. Like, according to Wikipedia, hey, at least it's plausible enough. I thought they'd just make it out of Norway. This is what I hate building. All this engine shit you're not going to see. So, but we got decals here. What is it for? Summer 1942. And then the Baltic Air Fleet. Okay, so we're going to do the... I mean, this is a cool, you know, biplane. That's... I would have bought a Rada if they had a Rada. I-16. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And they had a Stuka. I would have bought a Stuka. Actually, they had the Fujima Stuka that I sold for, I think, $5. Probably should have picked that up. That's all right. I'll get it next time. I got enough to work on. Again, the aircraft really are for scenarios. They're not to, like, other than the Walrus. They're not to, like, hey, I build aircraft too. Like, no. They're objectives. You know, they're like the same way that Flames of War does these little objectives. You know, like they put this little knocked out Panzer III or something like that. You got to go get the secret plans from it, or, you know, not that, but something along those lines. What else we got here? This thing looks beautiful. This thing looks beautiful. Definitely not what we're starting with. And this thing has a lot of decal options. A lot of decal options. Oh my god, it's got full color decal color things. Oh, how beautiful. I'm sorry, German aircraft aren't beautiful. They're wicked looking. They are. Yay! Oh, we got crooked spiders here. Hold on. Don't want to get in trouble with the bots. France, May 1940. Hauptmann Wolfgang Falk. April 1940, 1939. Oh my god, even more stuff? Holy shit. Oh, it's just more views of the same thing. I thought this one had the hornet head mouth on it. Oh, because he said it came with he had extra decal options. So these are Tech Mod extra decals. These are actually not the decals that come with the kit. Ah, that's what pushed me over the edge. I'm like, $10, like, yeah. I've never built a 110 ever. I had 109s. I had what else did I have? Spitfires. Had a Typhoon, all hanging from the ceiling. Fuck Wolf. What else did I have? B-17, B-26, B-25. Ooh, a pamphlet. Tank 5 was a Rheinmetall Type B. And I am not a fan of stop what you're doing and paint the interior. So we're not going to do that with a wreck. Is there no decals that come with this one? Something queer is afoot. Something queer is afoot. Yep. See, it's got these two planes. I'm not worried about it. By the time I get around to that, I'll probably be like, yeah, I want a different unit and buy the thing. Okay. What else you got? Yeah, what I got really excited about was that Krupp Prots. I can't believe there was a Krupp. Oh my god, there's a Krupp Prots. I don't remember which one it was. These are in here. Look out for the Crooked Spider. Attack of the Crooked Spider. This has just a Schwimmwagen thing. So it must be in this Fujimi one. Nope. This has other shit in here that is not. I took pictures of some of my stuff, and one of the guys that had sold me some of the junk, actually the stuff that I had gotten that was from BP Cast, those Soviet trucks. I showed him the picture. He blew his freaking mind because basically they were crap. They were complete and utter crap. I heard that most of the B-17s were sent to Europe, while the majority of B-24s were sent to the Pacific. Interesting. I don't know much about aircraft. I mean, I'm not, like, I wouldn't know that. I mean, like, yes, I know what a B-24 is, and it carries more bombs than a B-17, you know, but I'm not a plane guy. This thing right here, a freaking Krupp Prots. Unbelievable. And it's not even a set, well, it is a set for that, but here's the artwork. I love this artwork. And not because it's SS guys, but it's just, I like the Ari artwork, and all the Ari stuff looks really, really good. Does it have a Pack 40 also? Oh, there's a diorama base? Keep your pants on, Jeffrey. We're going old school. I've never had a kit with a diorama base. Put me in, coach! Hey, what's up, Victor? I'm just feeding my crack habit here. Oh, this is a limp. This is a limp dick. This is, if they still make this stuff, this is no bueno. No. Does it have a Pack 36? Well, I have lots of Pack 36s. The drawing should. The box art shows a Pack 40. It's a Pack 40. I wish it was a Pack 38. It's a Pack 40. And a Schwimmwagen. Never built one of those. Some loose Panzerfaust with no trigger mechanism. You gotta run it. You gotta run at the Allied tanks just like those Japanese guys with the little boom things. Marcus, did you see the Japanese thing I got? Probably not if you were late. A Krupp Protz. I always thought it was a good looking truck. And I don't think they were ever yellow. Mine's going to be gray. I think they're Austrian or Czech. One of those two things. What's it? Pack 40, Pack 36, Pack 38. German anti-tank gun. I think it's the model, whatever it is. The 36 is a 37 millimeter anti-tank gun. The 38 is a 50 millimeter, and the 40 is a 75. Nope, we'll see that. No, you won't. You'll see it right now. Where is it? This is probably one of the things I got that was not a good deal. And yes, I had you in mind kind of when I got this. And it is from Waterloo 1815. These guys really should change the name of their company. Because you look at that, you're like, yeah, it's Napoleonic shit. And then they say, no, it's World War II stuff. It's like, oh, well, they must have it wrong. Like, yeah, it's got the 70 millimeter infantry gun. And the guy with, I normally call this the Bangalore torpedo, you know, and an ATR. Yeah. How soft are they? Pretty soft. They look like Italeri. They look like that style of Italeri. So. Now, Jeffries, correct me if I'm wrong. This Sherman, all these Airfix Shermans, I know they're 176. Probably a good thing. Most of mine are 176. These are M4A2s, are they not? I believe they're M4A2s. And if they're M4A2s, I know they used them in Northwest Europe. They're going to Italy. I've got the Italian paint. I've got the Italian paints for. I don't think about Sicily. I skip over Sicily. Sorry. It's in Greek? Who the hell writes instructions in Greek? Wow. I would have been like, sorry, I'd write it in Greek, but you guys don't use the same alphabet. The Wolfman. I did have a great time at the show. And I don't know if you listened to me before I got on the show. I wasn't excited about going. I was not excited about going. And I'm stupid for not being excited about going. I had a good time. I knew I was going to have a good time at Tampa. I just didn't think I was going to have a good time in Orlando. And I did. I had a really good time in Orlando. You know. Yeah, I think this is an M4A2. Maybe I'm wrong. I have to pull out my Sherman. Yeah, but I don't do Soviet. I would do Soviet Lend-Lease trucks, but I don't do British vehicles. The Soviets don't get British vehicles from me. They shouldn't have got them to begin with. Comic bastards. My dad would say, the Soviets had to freaking lay into bed anyways with them. You know, they made a deal with Hitler. Now fight him. No, they're just boring looking to begin with, you know. I think they're M4A2s. It's not an M4A1. No, all M4A1s are cast hull. Right? Okay, timed ID. This is what we got all our references for. All right, so what are we going to look at? This should tell us everything we need to know. You know, it may be a version that's none of them. So it's like, okay, what do you got to make it all on? So, let's go get my squadron signal. Sherman book. It's the first book. These are the best books, period. Because they just cut all the bullshit out. They just show you what you need to know. None of that dance around. Of course, you have to. They work better if you find them. Where is it? Is this it? Tank Destroyers? Where's my Sherman book? There it is. Right next to it. Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway. And what makes the squadron signal so damn good is this stuff right here. Is these drawings. You just cut all the crap out. Like, this is what it is. You know? It's like clear. So, it's not going to be an M4A1 because it's got a cast hull. Well, let's wait a second. The first one should be an M4. I love this picture. This is a great freaking... And this is a perfect example of why people... When the next time somebody says, I don't do Shermans because they're boring, you punch that joker in the nose. Because this is super cool. And the same thing goes if it was British Shermans. Every single one of these guys is totally, completely different, and they have all kinds of personality. They got different junk on top of them. They're in between versions of different things. They're customized. They probably all have nicknames, and some of them have numbers. Can't read the nicknames, unfortunately. We've got a lot of easy 8s there. This is like in Italy in 1945, so you're going to have a lot of 76 millimeter gun Shermans. Okay, early M4 1942 production, 75 millimeter. Okay. Oh, look, it's 76 scale, which means you can put it right on top of it. It might just be an M4, which means they'll be American. And that might be what they are. Let's look at the engine deck. M4 medium tank, first standardized. It's got this 60 millimeter hull. That's a 60 millimeter angled hull. M4 Sherman tank, medium tank was the first model standardized production in the factory, the third type to go into production. 5 separate plants built M4, deliveries beginning in July 1942, and the final ones were delivered in January 44. Total production 67-48 gun tanks. Three-piece transmission. Okay, here we go. M42 standardized in December, had a welded hull similar to M4, was powered by 2. This variant was not used in action by U.S. troops, was issued to Allied forces on the land. I thought the M42s were used by the Marines. Diesel. This looks like it's an M4. It's an M4. And it looks like it's got the spot here where these extra little flaps would go on the front. See, like there's like hinges? I have to look at the instructions. Well, no, that's not shown. Although that might be a piece that needs to be added on there. You could certainly add it on yourself. It's not in the instructions. Yeah, like this. And I don't mind adding a little applique, little armor stuff on the side with you know, if I had a choice to make these British or American, I'd probably rather make them American, only because I like a lot of American ground troops, and I haven't even started touching the British. I already got 8 British tanks and basically hardly any British ground pound stuff. I mean, the British ones would look better. Yeah, I think that's what this is. I think this is an early M4 or a mid M4. I think so. How many did I get? 3 or 4 of them? 3? And it doesn't come with any stars. Damn it. Yeah. Well, they'll be American. They'll be American then. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to call District Miniatures up. Send me some stars, damn it! I can't hand paint stars. That'd take way too long. Too much cleanup. Yeah. The only thing I don't get super excited about is track styles. I'm like, that's the wrong kind of tracks. No. No, because then you'd never use Armor Fast. Because Armor Fast has terrible generic looking tracks, right? You think they fired this bastard a while? Gee whiz, man. Yeah, I think they're really cool. And if there's something that's ugly on the Sherman, I'd say it's the suspension. I think the suspension's a little unattractive looking, but you know. What else we got? What else we got here to open up? Yeah, I think this Hasegawa Sherman's a dud. I think the Hasegawa Sherman is a dud. I think it's missing stuff. It's missing a barrel. Hey, it's another Jeffrey special knocked out Sherman with no barrel. I don't know why there's no gun barrel here. And I guess I could order a gun barrel for it. What you do is you build it other than the gun barrel and make sure nothing else is missing too. Too many things are missing. Like, oh fuck that. Like I don't know if I don't see the front of the what do you call that? The mantlet. I don't see the mantlet on here. Like, yeah, this is the Fury Sherman. I'd say it's the best looking Sherman, but Super Sherman's the best looking Sherman. This is the best looking World War II Sherman. Yeah, I like them all. I like them all. I like all the Shermans except the ones used by the Russians. Put big white markings on. Yeah. No. Yeah, it's missing. It's missing that piece, and it's missing the 50. And it's missing the gun mantlet. Okay. Well, you just move on to the path of least resistance. All right. I want to open something up I've never opened up before. I know Jeffrey's probably built 7 of these. Let me go out on a whim. Let me make sure it's not in here. It's not. Okay. Now, they didn't use these in Operation Crusader. They didn't come out until, I'm going to guess, probably Gazala. Now, there's a chance we'll probably use this for, what do you call it? Tunisia? Tunisia. Your favorite Sherman is a Calliope. Love that they strap rockets on for armored artillery. It certainly goes off with a bang, that's for sure. Oh, they spelled this one right. They didn't put fresh instead of flesh. I have a set of instructions that literally says fresh on them. Like, really? That's just playing right into their hand. I guess they use real metal rods for the things. Well, that's probably just fine. That's probably just fine. You just epoxy those jokers. They're not going anywhere. Where's Let me check on one thing, folks. Just a second. You bought 2 and have one bought online, ready painted. They're great kits. They look like it. All right. So I don't know that it makes a difference, but what should I do first? What do you not want me to do first? How about that? I feel like I gotta make that destroyed plane just to see if that's something that I can overcome. I feel like I gotta do that old Where the box will this thing go? There weren't very many armor kits at this show. There weren't. It's like planes, side of planes, planes. One guy had like ships galore. He even had the trumpeter Barham. I opened it. I'm like, oh. Well, actually, I didn't open it because I didn't want to be tempted. Like, oh, waterline you know, British battleship waterline, like, whoa, you know, but nope, nope, not going there. It doesn't go with anything else. One of these things not like the other, you know. What's this? This goes decals to 110. I don't want to do one of the conversions. Like one of the junk things. I don't want to do them first. And I feel like I got to do that. I feel like the Airfix, that this thing's got to be first, just to find out if this is even a thing. You actually converted an Airfix Sherman into a Tulip edition with 2 rockets from the RAF personnel set and some plastic rod. That's a D-Day thing, isn't it? That has like those little a British Warhammer. No, it's got only guys like 4 rockets or something like that. I think that like blowing stuff up. I feel like this is what I got to build first. I feel like I got to build this thing to see if you know, if the wreck, and it's not going to be like super wrecked. It's just going to be like, that ain't going to fly this week, you know. It doesn't take much to get a plane not to be able to fly. Does it have the clear piece for the cockpit? It does. If it didn't, it wouldn't be a big deal. They use them in Italy. All right. Let's start fucking with this. Where is the cutting board? I got about 30 minutes. Oh, so you're going to build planes, you're going to build German planes. Yeah, we're going to wreck them. That's what you get, you Nazi asshole. Let's make sure this is the right one. That's the right one. I should probably wash this, shouldn't I? If this had mold release on it, I mean, the guy that put the mold release on this kid's been dead for 30 years. You know, it's... You had 30 minutes an hour ago. You're welcome. She didn't wake up. She took a nap. Oh, man. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it, and then we'll wreck it after it's built. With the exception of one thing, I'm not going to put the landing gear on it. I think the landing gear need to be like kerplunk, right? Like it needs to be like... That's definitely a damaged part. So like this little fly boy, he's not going to fly, okay? We don't put him in the cockpit. All right? So we're going to find where the cockpit is. This is good stuff, man. We're gonna do all this shit together. You know, I don't like the model without anybody on here. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys find it entertaining or whatever. I mean, I need you guys' help to stay on track. So you guys help me tremendously just by being around. You know, you guys come on here. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna leave if people are here. You know, I mean, not unless there's an emergency. Like, let's knock shit out together. You know. Where are my Tamiya clippers? No. The only problem with doing this one first is this one, there's a chance this thing might look great, but doesn't look as good as it could because it's got the panel lines in the wrong direction. So in other words, it has raised ones that where it should have, you know, but that's just a chance I'm going to have to take, you know. That's just a chance I'm going to have to take. It's a wreck that was destroyed on the ground. That's what all these wrecks are going to be. They're going to be like one to, because otherwise you would just suffer too much damage. They would just have too much damage they've suffered. I'm going to try not to sand this ever so anal retentively. So if this works, I'll have 3 109 wrecks. If it works. If not, I'll have 1 wreck that doesn't look worth a damn, and 2 planes that we'll have to use something else with. You know, but this could be, you know, if it was Crash, you could be like, all right, let's go save the ace. This is ace so-and-so. It doesn't have to be Marseille. Somebody was saying that he was like the best ace of all. I mean, he didn't get the most kills because he actually, I don't remember how he died, but he died somehow. He died before his time. Like Mulders. Oh, hold on. It's got an umlaut. Mulders. Who died, you know, at 41, or who got more kills. Are you going to model some steel wool on it to show it's smoking? I'm not. It's gonna be already like the fire's out, and I've got those smoke things that have a flame in them that I can put next to it. That's at least what I think. I'm totally winging this, you know. But when I made those 2 wrecks of the 222, and have you seen those? Have you seen the wrecks of the 222 in the armored car? I blew myself away. And I lost a wheel with a 222. I'm like, wow, I don't know how to complete this thing. And this Humber, I had no intention of crashing this Humber, but it had a turret that wouldn't move, and it had all kinds of problems with it. I got it from an estate sale from a guy who like built it wrong, and like glued the wrong stuff. Look at this thing. This is what the planes are going to be like. They'll be on a stand. I mean, I freaking love these things. You know, and this one was missing a top. This is a shit model, anyways. Oh, we got a crooked spider on here. Let's be careful. Whoop. You know, I love the way these things turned out, and I was empowering as hell. I was like, man, I could do aircraft. You know, you have a crash-landed P-51D for a scenario set in Italy to rescue a pilot. Were there that many P-51s in Italy? See, I got to be careful with Italy. If I do Italy, I'm going to be awfully tempted to get that Italian village by Battlefield 3D, whoever it is. The one that got the little church and the little chicken coops. And that is salivatingly beautiful. Salivatingly beautiful. And you can get it with a base, too. You know, it's like a couple $100. Well, I'd be scared to spend that kind of money. I'd be like, man, I don't know how it would turn out. I'm like, I did these buildings. I'm like, it'd turn out great. It's going to take a long time, but it'd turn out great. Whoop! Well, time to be a fumblefuck. I talked to a couple people that I encountered about my channel. Hopefully they'll come by at some point. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. You know? I mean, you guys entertain me. And hopefully, maybe I'll do something that you guys are having like a hang up, like you get discouraged, or and maybe I can help solve a problem for you. Well, we'll see. Let's see if this. You're blowing a little too high now. Not because I'm cold, but you're blowing these things out of my hands. I normally would not do this. I normally would not use this on top of this. I'm pretty sure this model cement will eat these lines off. But I'm gonna try to be careful because I don't want to get the. I need to buy some more of that. What do you call it? Stuff. The 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 backings of that cardboard. That's like the best thing I found to assemble separate link track on top of. Okay, we got whatever the hell this number 4 thing is. Oh, here it is. There's the only thing worse than one thing worse than Flash: sink marks. But these guys, you'll read reviews of these things. I'm like, oh, they don't like Tamiya kits. Why? They're too easy to put together. Well, I got news for you. I got a job that's a motherfucker most of the time, right? So I don't need to be tortured. Like I like being challenged, but I don't feel like I need to be somebody else's incompetence in QC creates more work for me. Like I did buy the kit, you know. If you need a challenge, like challenge yourself to paint it better or something. I don't know. But putting it together shouldn't be like, torture. Slippery motherfucker. So I played one game of, the only game I played was a game of Blood and Steel. And it was a 28 millimeter game. Joe supplied all the figures for it. It looked pretty good. It was French versus Chinese in 1880 something. And I didn't care what side I played. I figured I got to do fun, ridiculous accents either way. People wanted to be entertained by me playing Chinese, so I played Chinese. And I asked him who makes the figures, and he says, "Oh, Gringo 40." I'm like, "So you're playing with 40 millimeter figures?" He said, "No, no, no, no. Gringo 40 makes 28 millimeter stuff." I'm like, "Well, they need to change the name of their company because I wouldn't have given them a second look because hell, 40 millimeters in the scale of their company." You think there was an RAF squadron of P-51s in Italy? I don't think I could. I can't bring myself to paint an RAF piloted P-51. The same way I cannot bring myself to paint a US piloted Spitfire. It just like it just something about it just like it just wouldn't not it's just not something I would do. It's just not something I would do. Now, here's where I'm going to start converting shit. Okay? We got this part down. And I actually have push pins that I could like literally put this like up here. Nine is the chin. I hope it's here. If not, it'll have to be like dug into the ground. It's not the chin, it's the upside down of the cowling. Got it. There were lots of P-51s in Italy that were mainly used for bomber escort. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even. It's hard for me to get excited about American aircraft. I think the British aircraft are just so much more interesting, and a lot of it has to do with the paint schemes. Like P-51s aren't bad. P-47s aren't bad either. But you start getting some of the other ones, like, and they just, that olive drab is just ugly. And the paint schemes that the British use are just really, really attractive. Really attractive. I'm a fan, But I'm not your typical American. Oh, you're American, I ain't gonna build. Sorry. I'm not like, what was that guy? The drill sergeant, Ermy. He had his show, whatever it was. And at the end of every show, he's like, I like this one because it's American. Okay, well, I'm not brainwashed, okay? I like what I like, and that's what I like. Okay, this is number 7. Number 7 is Aki. You know what? You know what kit I would have actually bought if it was there? The Matchbox Fury. That's that biplane that was, because it came with Yugoslavia. I don't know, just something about that. Just there's some biplanes that are really attractive. I think I mentioned this before. World War One. This we better try this before we glue it on. World War One aircraft are almost all unattractive in my book, except for maybe DH-4s and Albatrossen. All the other ones are just falses look good too. All the other planes, I don't think are attractive at all. World War II biplanes, there's a lot of them that are attractive to me. Swordfish, Gladiators, the CR-42s, the Heinkel 51s. That Soviet one I got, that's a good looking plane. It might be a piece of shit. I'm not saying it's not a piece of shit. I'm just saying that, physically, it's it's an attractive aircraft. Okay, this is also one of the pieces on there. Okay, and they want me to do what? I see. They want me to put this piece here, glued through here. But then, all right, so this has a sink mark. I'm putting the sink mark towards the bottom. You prefer the silver air? I do too. And if you want to make an aircraft attractive, put Normandy invasion stripes. That makes every plane look better. I can't think of a single plane that doesn't look better with Normandy invasion stripes. Every single one of them. It's funny because I would think that on the surface, I'm like, no, it doesn't make it look better. It does. It does to me. And those were hand painted, so sometimes the handiwork on it looks like crap. But they're just trying to get them up in the air. I am not going to worry about this spinning or not. And we are going to need Mr. Tweezers. I love Normandy invasion stripes. They're really attractive. But yeah, compared to the other stuff, I don't know shit about planes. Because I've never played a war game with planes. I've played flight simulators. I remember, what was it? Air War over Europe, I think is what it was called. My first computer had these Boston acoustic speakers. It had a boom box at the bottom and then 2 little separate ones. And you would take off you got like a P-47 or something like that. And you'd hear the noise, and the noise would push out a bunch of air out of the speaker. And literally the hairs on your, newsflash, I don't shave my legs. The hairs on your leg would just be like in a wind tunnel. It was the coolest thing. I mean, it was, it was a really interesting experience. Air War over Europe. Let's see if I can actually get away with. The Hellcat. I'm not a fan of the Hellcat because I generally do not like radial engine aircraft physically. And I don't like how they painted the Hellcats. Let's just make it all blue. It's probably practical. It's probably good camouflage. It just doesn't make me want to build one. With that said, I probably will build a Hellcat at some point. You know, just like I'll build one of them duck trucks. And a Hellcat is a hell of a lot more attractive than a duck truck. Okay. Wow. Time to put the two halves together just like that? All right. Well, let's see if we can get away with putting them together and then sanding shit off. I said this is going to be a wreck. It doesn't need to be freaking gorgeous. It looks like it goes together pretty well. There's no discernible issues right off the bat. You have the Airfix Hawker Heart. I'm not familiar with that one. And Hawker Fury in support of your very British Civil War 20. The Fury is a beautiful aircraft. I don't know what it was armed with. Probably a pair of 30 cals, right? 303s. Pair of Vickers. I guess it'd be Vickers in there. Really attractive aircraft. Well, we got to mix it up. We're building some aircraft. It's better than going back and painting 15 millimeter ancients. And the problem with painting 15 millimeter ancients is the biggest one is like once you start on it, you can't deviate and do something else because you'll never finish your project and you're not going to be able to use whatever army you have. That's the biggest problem with it. It's not that there's anything intrinsically wrong with it. It's just that you can't you can't take a break and it's like, man, what did I do to deserve this? Whereas this is like I painted those little Hitler Youth guys. Okay, all right, that was fun. Now we're going to do something else. Winter Americans. Okay, boom, done. Now, all right, let's do something else. Like I get to mix it up, or I feel I can mix it up because there's nothing I have to get done by a certain time. Again, it's not that I don't want to get things done. It's like I don't want to have to commit to doing a certain thing. If that makes any sense for you guys. I mean, I'm getting stuff. I'm getting more stuff done these days than I ever have. I mean, it's not even close. Like I look forward to working on stuff and hanging out with you guys. It's like it's not even close. Oh, did we miss a piece? Not that you'd be able to see it. Yeah, it is. Oh, okay, but I could put it in from this direction. Yeah, we're gonna spray this fucking black and paint everything that needs to be in there. Honestly, it fits. It fits pretty good. It fits really good. It's gonna be a wreck. If it had an engine, maybe we could do some tinkering with it. But there's no engine. So I'll buy that for $1. That's what I did. I bought it for $2, my friend. Yeah, yeah. I say that. I still say that. So I'll buy that for $2. It's insane. I don't regret any of this stuff. It's an opportunity to learn about aircraft. Like I said, the only reason I'm doing this is we're going to make them wrecks, or at least these first couple. IL-2 Sturmovik Birds of Prey is my favorite World War II. It showed up too late. It showed up too late. I remember that, I had a computer from '99. So I remember getting the Microsoft Flight Simulator, Combat Flight Simulator, and everybody was in a hurricane. Everybody, because it was the tightest turning plane that came with that game. That's what everybody wants to do. They want to go in circles and get behind the other guy. Boom and zoom might be a perfectly valid tactic, but nobody wants to do that in a game. I'm going to open this up a little bit. No, I didn't even have to open it that much. Yeah, boom and zoom is nobody wants to do that. Let's just open this bitch up again. I said we're making this as a rec. Boom and zoom uses a lot of gas. Boom and zoom is boring as shit. That's like if you're playing one of those sub simulators. I had a buddy of mine who loved playing those sub simulators. But he wanted to all right, he'd figure out what angle he needed to be at, or he was going to be, so the convoy would be at a certain point, and he just, it was close enough to the convoy that you couldn't speed up time. So I'm like, man, this takes forever. This is taking forever to try to get ahead of a convoy, submerged, and hopefully timing it so that you have enough battery power. Now, if your life depends on it, okay. But in a game, that's no fun. The Hawker Demon was a predecessor of the Fury. The Hawker Heart was the bomber version of the Demon. Yeah, I'm not familiar with any of those. No, it's like I said, it's an opportunity for me to not be so ignorant about aircraft, which I'm not. I'm ignorant from maybe a modeler's aspect, but all right. What gets pulled in next? The cowling. Let's make sure it fits in okay. Yeah, and what we'll do is we'll end up bending these back, after it's built. We can soften them with something and do that afterwards. A lot of this is going to be charred looking anyways, I suspect. Maybe not the entire aircraft, but certain parts. Oh, this is weird. You got pegs here, but there's nothing for them to fit into unless they're just spacers to space itself away from the fuselage. And I think that's what it is. And I'm not worried about using filler on it, because if there's a gap there, well, what do you think happened? The engine backfired or whatever, a fire started in there. It's supposed to be wrecked. And if the decals are duds, I'm going to hand paint them. I can certainly do the Balkenkreuzes. I could certainly paint those. And I'll be able to paint the numbers too. So just wait. This is going to be. I'm optimistic. I'm very optimistic. The tail wheel. Let's put it on there. You can always damage it later. Okay. This kit's got to be from 1976 or something like that, no? Does it say? Nope, 83. Made in France. Blame it on the French to have raised panel lines when they're supposed to be sunken. That's not a big deal for me. Maybe if I was entering IPMS or something like that, I don't care that that the panel lines are 180 are the mirror image of what they should be. The American subs killed the most American subs during World War II due to faulty torpedoes. Is that right? What's up, Matthew? Want to say hi before I had some quality time with a girlfriend so I won't get la chancla to oblivion. Yeah, you don't want that. Oh no, this has a piece I needed to put in there before. Well, sons of bitches. All right, well we can. Actually, that's so sloppy. It fits in there. All right. Well, it's time for me to say farewell until tomorrow morning. So this is where we're going to pick up tomorrow morning, and that's what we're going to do. I know Jeffrey was wanting me to make a wreck. Well, the wreck is going to be the 109. We'll see if that's in the cards. Do these City Rosé airfield debacle for the Germans, anyways. All right, folks. We'll see you tomorrow morning, and we'll catch back up then. Bye bye.